Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Annie and Mindy Show. I'm Mindy Stern. I'm talking to you live from Israel.
And I'm Annie Callis, and I'm talking to you live from Melbourne, Australia. So today I think you have something amazing to share with me, and I can't wait to hear. And like we both of us are in personal development, and one of the key things is when you do personal improvement, that never stops. So clearly you discovered or you sign up for another program. So do you want to share?
Program, believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Okay, do you want to share with me?
Yeah, I do. I want to share with you. I want to share with everybody. It's a great experience.
And go.
Thank you.
And go.
Before I get into that, I just want to share with you, Annie, specifically, and then everybody else, that I just got back from having a coffee with our mutual friend, David, who's also from Melbourne, Australia, who is visiting his family here in Israel. So I got a spontaneous call this morning saying, Mindy, we're in the neighborhood. Let's meet for coffee. So it was so good to meet with, someone from our tribe. Our tribe, we talk about it a lot as an international community. So when someone is up close and personal, it's a real special treat. So
it sure is. And the thing is, this tribe, this community of ours is so connected, and you don't see each other for a year or so because everybody's in different countries. But you know that you've got a friend somewhere else, and that's a real true friend, and you pick up where you left off, and you don't talk for a year, and then it's just amazing. So I can just imagine. Did you laugh a lot?
We laughed a lot and we cried a little bit, and it was just really nice. But I must tell you this before I go into my personal development, because we were talking about, David's wife was with us, so she was asking about my involvement in Blair's community in BSTA. So I was telling her, and I said, today my best friends are in BSTA, the people that I'm most comfortable with. So she asks me, who's your best friend? So without any hesitation, Annie Callis, without any hesitation whatsoever, I said, Annie Callis. Speak with her all the time.
You're going to make me cry.
My person.
Oh, I got goosebumps. Oh, Mindy Stern. So I love you too.
And you are my best friend. We speak so much, and I love everything that we're doing together and growing together. And you give me so much support and encouragement that I'm going to use this opportunity to say thank you to you.
I'm so touched. I don't know what to. I'm lost for words. Well, you are one of my besties too, and like if I could actually get on a plane, I would come over there right now, because like we have so much stuff that we can do together. And as I said a few weeks ago, you really changed my life. So and what started as a professional thing turned into such a great friendship, and I think this will just go on. Yeah. So thank you, Mindy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love back at you too.
Thank you.
Okay. So good. Tell me about
my personal development. Okay, so as you, I hope that you all know and were able to glean from the conversations that Annie and I are having, is that I am full on with the development of my children. I have two children, a 20-year-old and 22-year-old. Maybe it's now 21 and 23. I'm not quite sure. But, I support them and they support me. And when we talk about joint values, we had even done an exercise together many years ago about values. And one of the joint values that we came up with, me and my kids, was personal development is an important thing for all three of us, and that we support one another in our personal development. And we're really good friends because of it. We're really close, I think, because of this. We grow together. So anyway, my son is an athlete. He plays football, and now he's been playing, this is his second year playing professionally. And, competitive sports is, it's not just the technique. It's not just knowing how to play the game or being a good player. There's a lot of mental work in it, a lot of mental work in it. So at the beginning of this season, one of the goals that he set for himself was to get a mental coach, not just a physical coach for his training, but also a mental coach, because In a year from now, he's got big goals. He doesn't want to stay in his local team at the level he is. He really wants to get to a championship league team. So he's looking for a mental coach. And we know of a mental coach, but he's stopped really coaching. And he went from sports coaching to more towards business coaching. And he wants to expand outside of the arena of sports. So he like refused to work with my kid. He doesn't want to coach any more athletes. And we've tried other people, and none of them really, speak to his soul, and he's trying, but you and I know both that you really need someone to support you that transmits on your wavelength, that's gonna that understands you, and that's gonna push you forward in a way that motivates you, that you feel comfortable, that you know that if you fall, that someone's gonna support you. And he wasn't able to find that. Okay, long story short, this guy, his name is Eitan Azaria, and I posted in my Facebook a picture of me a few weeks ago at a preview that he did, a morning seminar. He decided to do a 6-week program, open it up to the public, a 6-week program that, it's 42 days of championship, a 42-day championship program that you reach your goal in 42 days. And so I said, I went to this morning, my son couldn't come with me. And I said, my son needs to go into this, but the only way I'm really going to get him into the program, he can't go, and he can't go to the program itself because he has soccer practice. He's playing football. So at the time that the seminar is going on, he can't go. So I discussed it with Eitan, who is really young guy, super great coach. He speaks the language, Annie. He is a real coach. He's not some guy who couldn't play football anymore and decided to work with athletes. He learned this stuff. He learned it and he practiced it, and he is professional. Good. And I guess that's a big compliment for me because I'm a coach myself. So I have, a scale to look at. So anyway, what we decided to do is that my daughter and I are taking the course. It's a 6-week course. So it's a meeting once a week. And Eitan has agreed to work with my son on the coursework, but in one-on-one sessions.
That's awesome.
So me and my kids started this Monday a personal development course, a 6-week course on personal development. Now, what I want to that's background. I didn't even get to the main part yet. That is all background for this. The first meeting, which was on Monday night, he went through he did a really great technique. What he did was give some background, and then he did a visualization. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 5 years from now? He did a meditation and did some background. There was music, and okay, how do you see yourself? And then this is a great exercise. So all of you, this is an exercise for you to do, and not just saying it to say it, do the exercise. So the question was, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? And then you picture that, and then you make it bigger. And if you could even be better, what would you be doing? And if you could, like an NLP technique. And if it's even bigger, what colors are there? What's going on for you? What do you see? And if you even make it bigger, so you're expanding that experience of how you see yourself in 5 years. So if any of you need like a guided meditation for this, maybe Annie and I can help you to do something like that. But if you can do it by yourself, see if you can do it. Spend 3 minutes, 4 minutes visualizing yourself in 5 years. So then after that, he has a list of something that you and I both love. We would call them values. He called them characteristics. So he has, do I have it in front of me? It's in Hebrew, so you'll excuse me. But he gave us all like a worksheet. And on that is a list of characteristics, personality traits. And he said, okay, when you see yourself up there, what characteristics came out of you? Who were you? So some of the things that I were, when I saw myself, I saw myself on a big stage, right? I want to be a trainer. I want to help a lot of women all over the world and empower them, feel good leaders, okay? So I have charisma, I have dedication, I have love, I have authenticity, happiness, acceptance, passion, all sorts of things like that I saw myself. So now our exercise is every day, he told us to choose 7, and every day choose in the morning which characteristic you are going to take on for the day. Because his point of view, like any good coach's point of view, is that usually, and this we also learn, Annie, and teach, usually people say when they have something, then they are going to do certain things. When they reach a goal, then they are going to do certain things that they really want to do, and thus they will be able to be the person that they want to be, right? Have, do, be. But we all know in the personal development world that you have to do the opposite. Be first whoever it is that you want to be, and that person will do specific things that will actually bring the result much quicker, much faster, much more effective, much more in alignment with who you are. So he's practicing with us the issue of being already today the person that we want to be, that successful person that we saw in the image.
Wow.
Okay? So it's not new material, right? How many times have we done this be, do, have stuff, which is important. But every time I do it, it's like a revelation.
But you know what's interesting? Like the value sheets that we use with our clients, this is a different twist on it because we look at what are your values, but this is who are you being. It's different. So I'm like curious to go to my sheet now and figure out, okay, who am I being out of the 150 words that are there? Who am I being? So it's not like my value is contribution, but who am I being? Happy, joy, I don't know, no other words come to me right now, but these two come to me like, who am I? Do I fulfilled? And that's not a value for me. Fulfillment is not the value, but I feel fulfilled, which comes out in who am I being? Oh my God, this is revolutionary stuff.
Isn't it?
I have to go and do this now.
It's really, really great. You are being already like that vision of the best you, and he calls it, I even wrote it down. When you choose to be that characteristic and focus on that or those characteristics for the day, you create masterpiece days.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that good? Masterpiece days. I love it. So today, I don't know how you say it in English, Machil. Today, the characteristic that I'm adopting consciously, intentionally. Yesterday, I was happy. I was joyful, but it wasn't intentional. It happened, and then I adopted the word. But today I woke up. He said you have to intentionally adopt the word, the characteristic of what you put on your list. So mine is today is I guess it's going to be compassion. That would be the best translation of compassion. So when I wrote down in our group, okay, today I choose to be compassionate, he comes back to me and asks me, okay, what does that look like? What kind of actions are you going to do throughout the day that show that you're compassionate? How does that work real time, in real life? How does that work for you? What does that look like? Which I love the question. So that's my question today. When I want to be compassionate, what exactly am I going to do? Instead of just putting it here, be, do, have. So I'm being compassionate. That's my focus. Now, what am I going to do? Because if I do now actions that are compassion, that show compassion, then I'm actually creating my masterpiece day. I'm already living today that vision of 5 years down the road. Does that make sense?
I'm writing notes.
You should come to my workshop. The guy is great. I'm really impressed with him. And I said to him, I said, I do seminars all over the world, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to the best of the best. And he is definitely in league. The way that I'm feeling in his course, he is definitely in league with the best of the best. Now, all I need to do now, all I was thinking about on Monday when we were in session was to expose him to accelerated learning. And then I know that I would see him on the big stages in the world if he can just learn the technique of accelerated learning, because his coaching is great, his methodology is great, his presentation is great. Who he is, I mean, he's already being, the person that he wants to be.
Imagine if he could deliver this in a one-day program.
Now, and he comes from the world of high performance. That's it, high performance coaching and athletes. Wow. So an athlete is on all the time. It's not like us business people who we have ups and downs and days that are on and days that are off and can take time off. I look at my son. He plays and practices football 6 times a week. And the seventh day when he's not, in an official training or an official game, he's working on himself physically. So it's always, always, always on. You have to be high performance every day. If he doesn't practice well in the practice, he's not going to play in the game. You're talking about people who are high stress, high activity, high performance, continuous basis. This guy brought 2 teams in Israel, soccer teams, to championship. I think even 3 times. A young guy, he was a player himself who got wounded, injured, and had to stop playing football.
And he did something good with his life instead of just whining about it. Oh, I can't play soccer. Well, we say soccer here, football over there. I mean, Europe, it's football.
Yeah.
In Australia and I think America, it's soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
Oh my God. So what was the third thing?
What was the third thing?
Well, number 1 is visualization. Number 2 is characteristics. Is there more?
And then the doing. The third thing is to start already to doing. Now we have a plan. I had to gave us paperwork, and he has an app to do it. A plan, a 42-day plan which starts off who I want to be, and then the steps I need to take, and what can the challenges be. And then the last thing is, if you know what the challenges are, what are he calls it the comebacks. So if I have, like, one of my big challenges is time. I've got 42 days, 7 weeks. I'm doing a lot of other things. I have my children, I have my business, on the steady basis. I'm very involved. I have women leading into the future, Blair Singer training, a lot of stuff's happening. So one of my big challenges is time. So it says, okay, what happens when you see the time's an issue? How do you get back and focus on being compassionate when time can be something that's maybe you're going to be stressed to go to your next meeting? What do you do? How do you refocus? Or another one of my obstacles is, for Michael, is I can easily hide behind technology. So I can send out messages and I can be in touch with people digitally, but actually if I want to move forward quickly, I need to pick up the phone and make calls, talk to people. So one of my behaviors is sometimes I can hide behind the technology. It's easier to be anonymous through a message.
Yeah.
So, like, what do I do? Who do I need to be? What is going to pick me up and bring me back like that to be focused and do what I want to do? Go forward, because I've got 42 days. Yes, 42 days is 6 weeks. Right?
That's awesome.
So the doing is really important, and the pick me up. But what I loved, and that's what I wanted to share today, is who do you want to be? Consciously decide, when you say that in your perfect, the vision of 5 years down the road, that's who you want to be. That's your vision. So
go on. Sorry, go on.
You can bring the being of that to now. Imagine how fulfilling, how satisfying, how big. Why do we have to wait 5 years to be so big? And to feel the way you ideally want to feel, because you can feel it right now. So today I am in compassion. And I'm not being very compassionate because I'm speaking so much.
But yes, you are. But you've got to also be compassionate with self. Let's not forget that it starts at home, right? So like, today, certain things didn't work out as they were meant to be. So, and then I know that you were feeling a little bit, compassion starts with you. It just didn't happen. Duh. It can be fixed. It's not like that's it. It's the end of the world. But you got to be compassionate with you and just say, okay, well, it didn't happen. I said, I owned up. Next, reset, push the reset button, and then keep moving ahead.
Yeah.
Because we have to be compassionate with ourselves in order to able to offer compassion. We got to be love to give love. We got to be happy to create joy around with other people.
Absolutely, Annie.
And bring that to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it. This is really awesome stuff. Really awesome. Can I ask you, would you mind if I teach this tonight?
First of all, it's not my content, but yeah, absolutely. If we could spread this beautifulness through the world, and that's why I wanted to speak about it today, because they're techniques that we can do so easily and creates the opportunity to be happy, more satisfied, more fulfilled in the here and now, instead of like postponing it until something big happens. And that's why I'm sharing it. Share it. Let's make more people happy. What are you doing tonight?
Our other colleague Amani said, Saeed, right? So she's got this group for people in academia, PhD people and all of that, right? So
Scientists who love science.
Scientists, yes. So I did a live interview with her about a month ago in her group, right? So now what she's doing is she's coaching these people in science and academia to get out of their shell, to if they want to do other things, to be okay with that, and how to deal with certain emotional and little voice stuff, right? So what she's done is she challenged them to overcome their fear to do live videos for 7 days.
Oh, wow.
And I got invited into it. Now, you know me, I can do a live video at a drop of a hat. So I did one yesterday, and I did it on this bee thing. The be do have, right? Now, were you on Blair Singer's coaching? Goal
setting call. I was not.
No. So he actually talked about this be do have, because he went to that what do you call it? I keep forgetting these words. So I just
went to an ashram in India.
He went to the temple in Thailand. He went to the Dhammakaya temple in Thailand.
Okay.
And he met the Dalai Lama, not the Dalai Lama, whatever they call the leader of that temple. So he talked to him about mindset and spirituality. So he talked about the be, do, have, and then he talked about the be. And then he talked about the be is your truth. And he talked about, like, we've got our mind, and then we have our habits. I might as well show you this because it's all here. And then what I did is I actually did this as a live video for the people in academia, and they love it. So I'm thinking about following today with what you just said to me and get them to look at this. So who they are being.
Exact.
Right? Nothing happens by mistake. So what this man from the temple explained, that we have our mind, then we have our habits, and then we have our world around us. So if we have a messy world, so that's or our environment, then our habits become messy because we are all over the place, which means that our mind is messy because it's just too much going on, too much busyness. So we need to get we need to clean up. So he had the 5 universal goodnesses on how to be.
Wow.
So, you gotta be clean and tidy. You gotta be disciplined. So stay on track. You gotta be polite. Clean up your speech. And I'll tell you what, that was a big one for me. Clean up how you talk. So I do drop the F-bomb, but now I'm gonna be much more aware of when and how I drop the F-bomb.
Nice.
If I drop it, right? So clean up your speech. Be punctual. It's really important. And then meditate to still your mind, right?
Beautiful.
So I taught that yesterday, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be really cool to follow this up with today in live number 2 for these people.
Nice.
So I just love this what do you call it? This ripple procession, isn't it? This ripple effect. It's information is there to be shared and for people to learn. And like you and I have been around this stuff, like I know I've been around it for 10 years. You've been around longer than that, personal growth and that.
Yeah, since 2007.
And look at this. We're learning again. We're learning some. So the visualization, how do you use the visualization to actually anchor it by deciding who you're going to be today, and then you're going to create a masterpiece.
Nice, right? I mean, I'm so excited about it. Beautiful.
This is fantastic stuff. I can't wait to hear, the second part. Maybe next week you can tell us some more about the other things that you learned, because this is really good. So those of you watching, I hope that you're taking notes. I sure did. And I'm going to be able, now I'm going to go to my values list. And if you want to, I can, because I created a values list, maybe I can put the document into.
That would be super cool, Annie.
I don't know, can you attach a document in a comments box or a photo?
You can try. And if you can't, we can work out a way that if you send it to me, I'll make a link for it. So put it online for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll send it to you. I want the link.
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's great. It's so interesting that even in personal development, you can do the same model a few different ways, a few different times, and you're always going to get like deeper. And I feel like this, the deeper you go, the more you open up, the more enlightened you become. So keep doing it. Keep working on yourself. Keep growing. Keep going to seminars. Keep learning techniques. Because the deeper you go, the more you meet yourself, the more authentic, real, and open you can become to receive the greatness of the universe.
That's right. And the thing is that you've done it with your kids because your kids are your legacy, right? My kid is my legacy. And you know how yesterday I sent our group, our girls, that video from Julian.
Julian's beautiful.
And I just got him to type up something that, Blair was talking about. And then I went out, I come back and I looked at him. I go, how'd you go? He goes, Mom, that was awesome. So I loved the way what he was saying. And I like his perspective on this subject. Why don't women lead? He goes, women lead. I said, what do you think? He goes, women lead. Because not because Blair said it, because I believe that women lead. You lead, Mum, in a household, and women lead out there. And I'm sitting there going, and this is an 18-year-old kid. So all this learning that we do, inadvertently, we pass it on to our children. And then they will pass it on to their friends. Like Julian is already coaching his friends, right? Through conversation. And today, I go to the chiropractor and we go to the same chiropractor, and we went into this discussion, and the chiropractor was saying, he goes, I'm 43 years old, but I have big plans on creating stuff for my kids so that my kids can take over and then they can run with it. So he's already thinking about his legacy. And I'm like, oh my God, you're talking my language. Do you want to have coffee? You and your wife, let's go have coffee. Because we're always looking for like-minded people who lift us and support us, and you can brainstorm with, how do you do it? That's why we get on so well. Well, how do you do it? What do you do? And be open to learn. Because if you're not open, just going to go over your head. Yeah. Man, this was awesome, Mindy. This was really, really, really awesome.
Yeah.
I think if you want to, in the blurb for this video, to put, when you choose to be ... characteristic, you create a masterpiece day.
Yo, I love it. I got it. Wait. Love it. Good.
Watch this episode to learn how.
Yeah.
Or watch this episode to learn how to create a masterpiece day.
Masterpiece day. Isn't that like beautiful terminology? Who doesn't want to have a masterpiece day every day?
It's like a painting. So this is the thing. We are the painters of our life. Oh, goosebump moment. We are the painters of our life. Awesome.
It is. So Annie, so this was a good call today. I love it. Oh,
it's been awesome. I'm on a high right now.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a coaching call.
So I'm glad we had an opportunity to share. I'm glad I'm learning something new that I can share with you and with everybody else. Take whatever you learn here and pass it on. That's what we're doing here. We're creating, our intentional is to create that ripple effect that more and more people are happier in their lives, you know, more fulfilled, satisfied, happier, doing what's important, being who they want to be authentically inside themselves. Oh.
Well, that's our mission, to help people change the quality of their life. Amen. It's worldwide, isn't it? Thank you, Mindy, for today. And well, I'll see you tomorrow on our call.
Yeah.
And
then we'll see all of you guys next week.
That's right. Take care, guys. If there's anything if you have any questions, make sure you ask. If you want any topics that you want us to talk about, put it in the comments box below.
Thank you. Bye.